to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.
Welcome back to the ESL Pro League. Yeah, so a little bit longer of a break than we expected, but we are getting all the 10 players on the server after the change-up. We'll be getting this live pretty shortly here. And if you're just tuning in now, first map was on Mirage. It was a double overtime win for compLexity after a big comeback by KKona in the second half, but it did end up being a win in that double OT here. We're going to be on Overpass as the second map. Talked a little bit about these guys. Obviously, neither of these teams having too much success. You can see their records there in the past few months. 1-3 for compLexity on Overpass, 0-3 for KKona's on Overpass, who are also winless in this season of Pro League. They are the team that is most likely going to be auto-relegated down to Premier next season. And compLexity is also down there, but a little bit more safe in the fact that at least I think they would, the worst that would happen is they'd have to play some relegation matches and have the chance to fight their way to stay in Pro League. So as you can see, we are live into the knife round after the extended break. Rouge is going to be the last one left for KKona. Now, this is a map that we normally say is CT-sided, so you'd expect that the compLexity would go to that defensive side. But interesting enough, so is Mirage, and that ended up being 11-4 halves going for the T side on, from both teams.
You just often see this in general when you sort of get to the lower tier North American CS here in Pro League, is that the T sides just become the dominating factor in almost every single map because the CT sides are so very ill-formed at this point. Haven't really thought out strategies about it yet. The IGLs aren't as very well polished and doesn't really know how to work their players as well as some of those higher teams like C9 and whatnot. So we don't see a whole lot of that in the T side. Tends to be the driving force behind pretty much all the maps is sort of this bracket of the Pro League. But anyway, we are going live now. KKona's going to start off on the T side and compLexity on the CT side.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's going to be anything in the way of finesse for KKona. No nades bought up. It's just Glock armor on all 5 members. Aggressively Def pushes up towards Party, takes a few shots trying to fall away, but he falls. Shinobi does push long, and he's able to find out. Whitmer's actually able to find Rue, so Rue actually swings back out wide to take that fight, loses it. Now Roka is quickly trying to rotate back. There's no one in the bomb site here at A, so it's going to be a member flanking up long, but look at that. KKona just pushes down towards the stairwell. They completely overrun Bank, the bomb site, and now it's just so dire for compLexity. Shinobi does even things up in a 3-on-3.
Whitmer giving away that flank a little bit early, but thankfully KKona's given enough time to get themselves into some decent post-plant positions. Move back on the smoke. Going to be tried to toss over the bomb. That doesn't work out so well. Ocean, we're trading off some blows. L's finding another pop-up there too, so it's just Whitmer left alive in the 1v2, and they did surprise him a little bit there. Whitmer popping it off now down to a 1v1. L's the last one left rolling and just tapping the bomb a little bit here to fake it, but L's nice movement from him. Gets himself around Whitmer on the flank, and he's going to be able to close it out for KKona. Picking up the pistol round here for these guys on the T side.
That's a bummer. Whitmer drops that smoke just with a little bit too much power. If that lands on the bomb, he just full diffuses that and see if it, he just takes the gamble. But because there was such a huge gap, he had to get off of it and take care of that one member of KKona and Bank. But smart play from KKona, knowing that 2 players pushing up long, once they get into the A bomb site, they just move forward aggressively. Taking that map control down towards the stairwell, down towards the pathway to the B bomb site. So that flank really didn't, it wasn't really a flank whatsoever from long from those compLexity players. Now aggressive towards the B bomb site. A lot of SMGs bought up, 2 of them actually, and there it is. One goes down. Def finds a good peek on Ocean, who's not ready for that. Nade from Vice eliminates Sanks, but good trades from compLexity coming into this B bomb site.
Now down to a 3v3 at this point, but KKona is still definitely having the advantage here. L's and Inverts ripping through the final 3 players. compLexity hoping to peek out and find some nice headshots to equate it, but not going to be the case. KKona, after a little bit of a rocky start there, getting themselves onto the B bomb site, do close it out quite nicely, keeping 3 out of 5 of those rifles alive as well.
Yeah, not too bad from KKona. Ocean's going to go right back onto the MAC-10. He got taken out a little bit, unfortunately, just because of timing in the last one, so he's going to try and build up some money. If you look at the money on the compLexity side, just quickly there as it faded away, Whitmer's got up around 4,300, so he's going to have that AWP into the next round. He's the one who hasn't been buying anything for the compLexity side. So they really want to have that expensive sniper rifle. There's Shinobi pushing up long. He falls early. The rest of his teammates are crunching in towards Underpass. Ocean with the chance to build up some money. Only gets 1 kill. Only 1 kill worth of bonus money on that MAC-10.
And now with compLexity actually finding that bit of a sneak kill there, they've sort of trapped themselves, unfortunately, in this area around Rod or Rue. It's going to be able to find them out, takes down Sanks, and they've got pretty much full control of this one now. So the remaining members of compLexity are going to try to hold control and catch some of these guys off guard. Whitmer, actually, nice shot from him, but he does get traded off very fast by Inverts. And now It's just going to be Roka left alive, hiding in that smoke inside construction, I do believe, and as he attempts to push himself beyond this sandbag, as soon as he does, he's going to find himself in a very rough position very quickly, especially with 13 HP. Out he goes, and down he goes. Invert catches him midair, gets the clothesline. KKona will start off 3-0.
But now here it is. Wimmer actually has 7,300, so he's going to have a full buy of everything he could possibly need with that ult, even as a kit behind it. He's got 6 kills. Def and Shinobi each with 1, and 0 for Rook and Sanks after these first 3 rounds. But this is the big one. This is that first buy round. Invert has an AWP as well on the T side. Does look like Whitmer is going to bring his out towards long A. It's going to be Shinobi who's going to solo guard the stairwell. The underpass, a crucial portion on the map. And meanwhile, KKona, this is a pop flash out long. It's going to blind Whitmer, who's getting aggressive here. There are 2 players here. Sanks up close. The op to kind of bait them out into his crosshair. But the T side op is just waiting for any kind of indication that they're there.
So KKona pushing most of their players back over here, just outside of party now, but waiting for them is going to be Whitmer, just around the corner from long, and Sanks is here too. Pop flash is nice, but it hits the T's too, and Sanks doesn't even realize there's 2 T's sitting directly in front of him. Gets to the first one on the device, but Els does respond and gets another long-range kill to shut down Whitmer. Good reactions from him, and that puts it back into an even situation with these T's.
Yeah, Whitmer missing that shot out in the open with no cover to fall back into, so it's an easy equalizing kill for Els. T-side still very, very far back, trying to figure out where they want to readjust to. Ocean watching for anyone to get aggressive up towards that fountain. Not going to oblige them. Still 2 members at the B bomb site because Shinobi is going to get aggressive out towards long. He's trying to find information. They're just gambling that none of the players from KKona are walking through bathrooms towards that A bomb site. This is actually a very staunch defense at the B bomb site that KKona is about to run into. Roka does have 2 flashbangs to work with. It's all about timing here because Ocean's going to lead the way with the op, and if he doesn't clear to his right, and he is going to peek out. Roka, he sees the body first, but Ocean wins the battle. There's that opening kill. Def still in water. He's going to try and hold this as long as possible. This is a crucial point of control at this B bomb site. Def is going to peek out. Is Ocean ready for it? He's looking up top, so Ocean doesn't see him whatsoever, but he recovers again. Nice round from Ocean, and Rue finds a kill onto Shinobi as well. So 4-0 now for KKona, back onto the save for compLexity.
Puts the first gun run into the control of KKona, and also, again, a very early buildup of the money here for the T side. Els down at 9.1k now, Rue at 6.7. The other guys still working to build themselves up, but that's a lot of money very early on with only 4 rounds being played out so far, and especially with this upcoming one just being a measly little upgraded pistol round here. 3 Deagles, a CZ, along with a 5.7 being on Shinobi, with essentially 0 utility for the rest of the team and no armor. They're not bringing a whole lot to the table, except for this aggressive push now. Deft getting some good damage on Device to bring him down to 5 HP. And we'll look for some more in a second here with this pop flash as it rolls back out. I think it's a little bit too short there, so it's not going to connect on the invert. And he will very swiftly shut down Deft as more players come to the slaughter here. Sanks, the only one that's been able to find anything from the CT side as of yet. And it's brought down to just Shinobi and Roka as the final 2 left alive.
Yeah, and they're just going to get cleaned out. Roka's trying to push forward through this B bomb site, try and get a quick flank going on, but everyone from KKona's already bailed out of that area, though it doesn't look like if they keep that up any slower, Roka's going to be able to catch up with them. He shouldn't have any chance of winning this, but now this is what we see often on some of these maps that we consider to be a little bit more CT-sided, is oftentimes just because of the way the economy plays out, sometimes can be a very quick 5-0 for terrorist sides, but this is when the full losing bonus comes into favor. Now compLexity, everyone can have Molotovs, everyone can have smokes, they can have their M4s. You know, Whitmer's going to be back on the AWP, but I mean, despite that, I just saw a shotgun be bought. That was a misbuy from the CT side, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so you could see it there, but look what that does to Def. So that's actually a pretty big mistake. That takes about 1,200 out of his pocket.
And it's just going to be sat there, not even going to be trying to utilize it at all, as they're focusing on this gun round here now. So won't try to do anything cheeky with that. And as for the rest of KKona, much more spread out type of play from the T side this time around here. Molly thrown out from the T's very early on, too, to prevent anybody from actually doing anything like getting aggressive down over here to the lower tunnels. So Shinobi, gonna check that now, but Ocean waiting just around the corner. Ocean's actually been pretty on point as far as these 1v1s are concerned today, at least looking back at that last map on Mirage, and we've seen it continue here, but he's gonna throw out a Molly as well. That'll be great to force Ocean outside of cover, but he still recovers, picks up the kill. At the very least finds a 1-for-1, and considering the situation that was up against him, not bad at all to keep that down into a 4 versus 4.
But more important than that trade is that, and that's nicely done by Ocean, but Sanks still having control of stairs is a crucial point of the map. So Rue is going to get aggressive out towards Monster. He's going to walk right through, and Def, he just works his way to the other side, but he's not looking. No one's looking there whatsoever. 2 members here for compLexity, and neither of them looking at Monster. Rue finds a massive opening, and now, I mean, compLexity's defense is just reeling. Sanks is going to try and push up, surprise Els. That's not going to work, and it's all down to Whitmer, a 1-on-4. This is a disaster for compLexity. Looking at a 0-6 deficit here in this 6th round.
Remember, just so discombobulated too from the rest of what's going on. He's going to try to get aggressive down through the tunnels to look for at least the finishing kill onto L's, but surprise, Vice rolling back into the doorway is going to be able to catch the very quick trade. And KKona still remain flawless, 6-0 after picking up the second gun round here. And compLexity are tired of waiting. They're going to force right up into this next one.
Huge round. Rue, what an opening that he finds. I mean, I don't understand. There's no one watching. Oh, we didn't get to see everything, but Def just pays no mind to it. So just really gambling a lot on the timing of that peak. It looked like they wanted to get aggressive together over towards short, towards those sandbags, but it doesn't work out whatsoever. So forced by now for compLexity. 1 SMG. Def has a FAMAS with no utility, but he's been pretty loud pushing up towards Fountain. And it looks like he's been spotted out. Vice ends that. No follow-up from compLexity. There's Whitmer, finally finds that kill. Sanks as well grabs Rue. That's in the underpass. So they have given themselves an advantage. And now with the man up, they can just fall back into the bomb sites and turtle up a little bit.
The KKona trap, though, there's literally not anyone beyond anywhere besides maybe the playground area, and they're just now moving Ocean out to possibly get some control over here towards Party. Vice following Student, and Invert sticking behind with the bomb, but compLexity doing a great job of holding essentially full map control early on in this map, or in this round, I should say. Not really giving them a whole lot of room to work with as they move out, and very loudly, too, giving a lot of intel potentially as to where exactly KKona could be moving this towards as they push out for that party control, but still very cautiously. Plenty of time left to work with, but making it very obvious as to where exactly they're going to be taking this bomb towards.
Yeah, Roka's MP9, not the best for dueling against an AK-47, but he's taking the fight anyways and gets punished. Vice finds him down to 31 HP, though. A little bit of damage dealt. Sanks is going to be the next to come up those stairs, but Invert just clotheslines him. Ends that idea. So 3-on-2 now. So a little bit of over-aggression from compLexity. 30 seconds left. KKona has some time to be a little bit more mobile, but looks like they want to commit to this A bomb site. Whitmer's already here at the default plant spot. That's a nice swing. Him and Shinobi combined for 2 kills, just down to Invert. He actually does some damage. Can't get the kill. At Molotov is going to keep him away. Oh, close up. Almost wins it, and oh my lord. Right after that, Whitmer gets the kill with the M4, and the Molotov burns him alive just a second late.
The Seth had been delayed by even a millisecond later. They still would have been keeping this train going, but by virtue of that one, compLexity do get to escape with at least 1 round on the board. However, losing all 5 players and everybody going down that round is not going to help these CTs, because now look at the buy they have going. It's not the greatest. Deagle upgrade with some utility and armor behind it for Roka. Three rifles, 2 of them being FAMASs on Shinobi and Def, and essentially 0 utility on any of them. And then Sanks having a downgrade to a shotgun. KKona still have the absolute advantage here heading into this round. And there's Vice just going full speed into the site with the MAC-10. Invert looking for a second kill as he finds it onto Shinobi. Unfortunately, compLexity, at least in this B-bomb set right now, they're just getting ripped to shreds. Roka, nice deal kill from him. He does manage to find an AK, but Sanks all of a sudden just drops into this site. He's going to take down Vice as well, and they're still looking for him. Ocean is going to have to be the player that takes him out. Managed to trade things over for an AK, I do believe, but Rue is going to be able to finish him off, and KKona immediately take back control and find their 7th round.
Smart play from KKona. I mean, it was just a standard B rush, but they do put the MAC-10 up front so that it can have some mobility. They spam as well. That combines for that first kill, but knowing that they kill all 5 members in a loss on compLexity, knowing the economy is going to be so bruised and beat up with very few utility, KKona just calls that B rush, knowing there's not going to be a smoking monster, there's not going to be Molotovs on short to slow him down or anything like that. So they get the hard reset compLexity. They're going to have to be back onto a double save, because that was a force-up. That round they won. So this is actually the nightmare situation. This is the darkest timeline if you're a compLexity fan in this map.
Shinobi trying to move out there towards short A too to find really anything you could try to pick up early on in the round. All he gets is a nade to the face, down to 13 HP. KKona, no reason to rush anything as of yet. They're holding back. They're keeping it cautious. And for the time being, just playing this very slowly in the event compLexity, trying to do something a little bit surprising by going for a stack and a bit of an unorthodox place on the map. It's not really the case. They put some heavy defense over towards the A-bomb site, and Roka's getting a little bit aggressive. But if Ocean moves forward through construction and catches that, then they could just abandon this A hit and go for B. But also keep in mind, too, compLexity virtually investing nothing. There's essentially 0 risk, regardless of where KKona decide to go across this map.
Yeah, they did leave the bomb far back. It looks like they forgot about that initially, but Els is on his way to get it. So he picks that up, and they're just going to move right back towards this A-bomb site. They have a lot of control. They're very close up. Even though there is a stack here from compLexity, should be pretty easy to bust this open. There's an opening kill from Vice. Invert chimes in, and there's Rue. All 3 get 1 kill. Just left up to Roka on that flank once again. He's got a P250, but he's so far back. So an 8th round for KKona, and they've come out swinging. Once again, the terror side looking to be the most effective for KKona as it was on Mirage.
Roka at this point hoping to find an exit through long A. Anything at all that he could try and grab to bring down the economy of the T side, but it's just grown so much at this point. Ruro is going to max out on cash after this round ends. Plenty more of these guys are going to be even richer than that too. And there we go, they found Roka. It's not surprising anymore. They'll be able to hunt him down. It's not like he's saving anything anyway, so just jumping around, having some fun. But Vice takes him down. That's another round up on the board here for KKona as they just continue to shred through complexity here in this half.
Yeah, and this is that double save, though. Yeah, that was the hard reset. 5 members die in a win, and then they get reset in the next round. So 2 saves have to come out because they just can't afford anything. They do upgrade some pistols to try and get something going, but on the other side, I mean, KKona's money is just so strong. This is looking like a very dominant first half, with them looking up to have an easy avenue up towards 9. So Vice is going to get up. And look at this, actually, complexity, they want to get aggressive. 3 members out towards long. Vice is spotting for this, finds the first one, does some damage. He takes a couple bullets on his own, but he's spotted another one out. So now, I mean, his teammates here, Els is just going to be able to mop things up. Him and Vice, and Vert as well chimes in. KKona handles that aggression perfectly. They do take a decent amount of damage, but nobody falls. 5 quick kills for them, and that round goes by very swiftly. So now, with the double save, you see the op on Sanks. Whitmer has an opportunity to pick one up if he wants to go light armor. We'll have to see if that's the switch up they want to take, and it is. So double up setup for the CT side.
But for KKona now, they've created basically an impenetrable wall of themselves here. Even if complexity do start to chain them together, it's going to take so long to force complexity down, where they're going to have to go for some saves here. So they definitely have full control of the playing field as far as this map is concerned so far. With only a couple rounds left in the first half, the question for complexity is how do they respond to this on this half with the remaining rounds that are left, and also going on to that T side, what's the plan to bounce back now, because they're definitely going to be at a very large deficit regardless of the result of these next 5 rounds. So to start it off though, KKona's, again, going for the passive style of play, not really playing too aggressively, but when they do, it doesn't work out so well. Vice goes for the peek back over out towards long A, but Sanks handles that quite nicely and shuts down Vice.
Yeah, Sanks actually completely blind when he gets that kill, so a little bit unfortunate for KKona. But nice time on the flick. Either way, now KKona has fallen completely away from the A-bomb, so they have no control anywhere towards stairwell. There is a stack from the defense. Def, it looks like, is up on top to peer over towards short sewers. Ocean's going to be the first one to have to deal with this. He's going to check it out. He's not. Def gets another easy kill. So 5-on-3 scenario for complexity. Absolutely cannot drop this round. Here comes the execute. Although KKona doesn't look like behind these smokes, they're too willing to rush through just yet. It's going to be Rue slowly working his way towards sandbags. The other 2 members are here as well, so they give up Monster, and they're just going to go back up these stairs. They're going to hope that Rue can get a kill here to create some kind of a diversion, but he gets dinked immediately. Def finds that kill. So essentially 3 kills in this round for complexity that KKona hasn't even desired to try and trade off.
3 1v1s essentially, and complexity just been dominating all of them here. So they've read this re-rotate back up to the A-bomb site like a book. Whitmer's already watching for it. Def's rotated back up. And also Sanks hiding a little bit further back, just as a bit of an insurance policy in the event they did decide to push long A. They're going to attempt to have invert re-entry back over here through construction 2, but there's 9 seconds left. If they're going to do something, they need to do it now. Invert picks up 1, L's attempt fails miserably, and invert falls pretty quickly after that too. So not really a whole lot that KKona's could have done. Just needed to be better off in those 1v1s because complexity just dominated the field because of those.
And because so many players survived, they're not really at risk too much of getting punished by a reset here in this round. So an opportunity for complexity to give themselves some breathing room moving forward. Yeah, you can see there a couple easy kills for complexity gives them a massive advantage. Still, a lot of money built up on the KKona side. They can afford to take that hit. It's all about this round. What are they going to bring into it? 1 towards the B-bomb site, 1 towards Underpass, and 3 are going to be out towards Party. Rue's just going to rush Monster. Pop Flash works perfectly, though, and there's no one there to support him. So another easy kill comes out for complexity now.
The rest of complexity also not really going to react to finding this kill too much either. Invert moving back over towards Monster, hoping one of the CTs has gotten aggressive, but all they've done is smoked it back off here to prevent anybody else from moving in there. Trying to scavenge back some more of those frags to get control of the B-bomb site. So it's still that same basic setup from KKona though. After their potential lurker back over towards the B-bomb site has been killed, now everybody else is just stacking around outside of playground and over towards Party in short A. Finally, there's Ocean picking up a kill, and Invert actually misses it there as well. There was another player up on top of Flower Pot, and that was going to be Sanks, but even though he's looking directly at him when he peeks, Sanks is still able to pull the trigger faster, takes down Invert, and again, puts the man advantage in the favor of complexity.
And Els is going to try and chase on this kill from Sanks. That flash is going to be really nice, though. He takes a little bit of damage, but he's got the kill, and he falls back safely to the A-bomb site. Still stuck a little bit, it looks like, against the wall. Maybe trying to time a peek. There's a smoke there to cover him, though, so he could get out if he wanted to, but KKona is slowly going to encroach. 35 seconds left towards this A-bomb site. Vice peering up top of the flower pots. Bomb is here as well. 2 members for compLexity at each bomb site, so they're just trying to split the defense. It's actually both ops at this A site. That could actually be really, really scary if smokes come out, if Molotovs and flashbangs are in the right place. But they've got to be blind. Whitmer's got a good angle here, and the shoulder peek from Vice baits out the shot, so he readjusts his angle. There's Ocean out of Sanks. They got one more to deal with. It's Whitmer still alive. That's one. He gets shredded off, down into a 2-on-2.
10 seconds left of this. They need to get this bomb onto the site very quickly. They'll have the amount of time they need to do this. As both Def and Roka are still rotating up from the B bomb site. Def, the first one here, but he's going to wait for some assistance to come in the favor of Roka, as he's been very, very key on making sure they have the power fragging they need to get themselves back into this site. Vice, the only one that's here, though. Ocean has fallen back, wants to take the longer range duels with the out, but he's going to have to recommit, as unfortunately he's left his teammate out. They're actually not expecting Vice to be that far onto the site at all, so Vice picks up that first kill with ease, and he almost takes down Roka too. Roka at 38 HP, moving onto the site. Ocean just hiding back inside of the bathroom is now going to wait for him to tap onto that bomb. Hasn't done as of yet, and he's got perfect positioning to this too. It's the perfect spot. Ocean jumping back out there, taking a bit of an unnecessary risk, but now Roka has gone beyond the timer that he can actually defuse this bomb with. He's got the round in his control, and it's going to be KKona that strike right back now and get themselves into double digits here.
And Roka even dies right at the end from the bomb. So it's a bummer for him, not able to bring that AK-47 forward. So it's not exactly a hard reset, but they are going to have to save one more round. So just pistols, upgraded pistols are going to come out. Sanks has very little money, and we're going to see a pause as well. That's more than likely from compLexity to talk about how they want to end this half. Because now at a 2-10 deficit, this is a very dire situation for him.
And realistically speaking here too, also with Shinobi getting knocked out of there too, they're going to need a moment to get him back into the match. But realistically looking at this too, they save here, maybe forcing up on the next one after that. If they drop that one, then they're in that same sort of territory where they just cannot consistently get guns at the table. It's the same exact thing we saw back on Mirage. They cannot control their economy, and it took so long to build it here at the beginning of this half that KKona just racked up a huge scoreline and a huge economy on their own side here at the T side too.
Yeah, the realistic situation that compLexity is facing is 3 rounds left in the half. This one you got to kind of throw away in the sense that I mean, you just got to have pistols. You have no real money for any utility, any rifles, so you just play to get that 11-4 scoreline, much like we saw in Mirage. Play for those last 2 rounds. You don't devote too much. If you force buy here and lose, then essentially for the next 2 rounds you're going to have pistols, so then it very easily could become a 13-2 half, and that would just be too much to come back from. So you play for the 11-4 scoreline. You play to give yourself a window of opportunity in that second half, which we saw from both of these teams is very T-sided. It's very possible, you would have to guess.
Yeah, and of course, it's been the usual suspects leading the way here for both of these teams so far. Specifically looking over here at KKona, it's been Vice, again, who's been that big player for this team today, leading it right now. Also, Invert, who has had a much more increased game from what we saw back over on Mirage 2. Actually, didn't really see too much of him. He didn't really need to because some of his other teammates are doing the heavy lifting, but here he's been a much bigger impact on the team.
Well, and also Roka on the compLexity side, 2 kills on the CT side. He was very quiet on the CT side as well on Mirage, so maybe just having a little bit of trouble on the defense, not being able to pick and choose the battles he wants to take as efficiently. He was. I mean, we saw much more impact on the T side, so maybe switching over, he's just gonna have another beast half because he was very impressive on T side Mirage. But I mean, he's that star player about this team, right? This is the guy that compLexity said a couple times that they want to build around Roka, and he's not having a great evening, really, all things considered. So 2-10 compLexity. This has been a very flat CT side from them.
It's been changing as of late, and it's shifted over towards Sanks, as we mentioned in the pregame, being that sort of heavy lifter. We are going live now, by the way, but in this match, it's basically been Whitmer being the star that has to save all these rounds for him when it comes to just getting kills so they can try to keep the economy in some form of controllable situation. Unfortunately, it's not working out very well, but it's always been Whitmer. He's really the only player on this team next to Sanks that can probably find a consistent amount of kills for compLexity. Going back into the 13th round here, as you're mentioning before, this round for compLexity has to be thrown by the wayside. Not going to be able to invest all that much, just stacking together, trying to hope they can overwhelm KKona on a short A push or something along those lines. But it's that same passive setup again that we've seen round after round from the T's.
You could see KKona knows this is more than likely going to be some kind of a save, and if not, it's a force buy. So they're trying to make sure, with how passive they're playing everywhere, you're not seeing any aggression from Rue towards that B bomb site, towards Monster like we saw last round. Ocean very passively playing Underpass. These 3 members were very patient over towards Fountain and Playground and how they wanted to approach that. So they're just waiting to see if it is a force buy. Is there any aggression that's going to come out? If it's a save, they've got to be careful and blow up any kind of stack that they run into. So just making sure that early on they don't lose anyone. The smoke fades, and actually Els is very fortunate that no one peeks from bathroom because there's 2 members there, and he almost loses the initial battle with Def. He's down to 6 HP. There's Shinobi, finally pouching onto Rue. So the bomb's very, very much alone. And actually, Vice is going to take the fight. He wins one, but he falls. This is down to a 3-on-3, and this is there's salvageable weapons here. So Ocean's the next one up. He's got to be able to hold his flank, and he's reloading right now. Close. Got to be careful. Door's going to open. Pop Flash comes out. That's nicely done. Ocean falls, and L's only has 6 HP, so it's all going to be on Invert to try and get this planet, although there's a good kill. 1-on-2 now, but Invert knows where both of them are.
And Invert hiding himself now. Going to look for the first pop. Going to miss it completely, and Sanks gets the drive-by headshot onto Invert, shuts it down, and a very well played, essentially full save here for compLexity. Just a couple upgraded pistols coming into the plate. But beyond that, a very well played round by these guys, and a very poorly played one by KKona.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they played it so slowly. They were supposed to be able to prevent any of that kind of aggression from having too much success. No nades coming out in bathroom. No Molotovs or smokes being placed up. When that one faded, that's when compLexity pounces, and KKona players are more than welcome to just kind of take some of these fights in 1-on-2s, 1-on-1s, and they fall to it. So give a lot of guns away, and then kind of leave their teammates in a really tough spot to recover from. So all of a sudden, compLexity, a little bit of life there in that round, and they have a chance here to actually get up towards 5 rounds. It looked highly improbable right before that pause.
Full investment coming in this time for the CTs, of course, and a lot more aggression spouting its way out here, too, with both Sanks along with Whitmer pushing all the way up through both Party and Long A. Hoping they can catch those guys creeping outside of Playground, as they've been doing the same exact thing almost every single round here on the T side, but not as heavy of a focus on this position this time around, too. A lot more players pushing themselves over there towards construction area along with the connector, but to start it off, it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade. Ocean surprises by working his way up through the connector, finds a second one for the guys here on KKona, and as well, kills pretty much everybody that tried to get aggressive here early on from the side of compLexity.
Yeah, and those couple kills actually forced Whitmer to be a little bit more passive with that AWP towards long, but now look, Shinobi gets caught in Monster. He's trying to do a timing push. It looked like it was going to work out. Roka gets around the corner just in time, but Rue's going to follow this up, and Roka, he's ready for that one. Is he able to get the second one? He runs out of bullets, and Invert cleans it up. He's got to run back for the bomb, and this might actually be the saving grace, because this has given Whitmer time to get over. He's not able to stop Invert from getting into the site with the bomb, but he's in a pretty good position, and it doesn't look like actually Invert has any indication he's here. There's no smoke here. It's going to be a free kill for Whitmer, down into a 1-on-1, and Ocean has no smoke to block him off.
Only got an HG to try and get some pressure on him if he wanted to get aggressive and just go for the kill outright, but he might peek this regardless, though. Ocean fell back inside of the pit once more. Ocean trying to be sneaky about this one, gets the angle, but completely whiffs that spray. No bullets connecting whatsoever. The HG, though, connects on point. Round bringing Whitmer down to 45 HP. This is going to force him back now. 20 seconds on the clock. Ocean needs to get this bomb onto the ground here now. He's actually going to try to run it all the way back up to the A bomb site. He should have just enough time to get it up there, and then that would put Whitmer in a very, very risky situation.
But what a ballsy call from Ocean to make this play. He's going to get it down with 3 seconds left on the clock. Whitmer's already here. He read that very swiftly, but Ocean's able to fall down the stairs. So bomb is planted for that stairwell side. Whitmer with the an unwieldy weapon to have to clear out many, many different spots in this bomb site. So
I don't believe Ocean realized that he had like sort of read this preemptively and wrapped all the way up through bathroom. So we're going to see Whitmer get a lot of control of the A site. He's even going to tap the bomb here. Ocean realizes it now, and he goes for the peek, but thankfully, because he had gotten the health advantage early on, it's going to be a pretty simplistic closeout with Whitmer missing that op shot. So KKona retake the lead now, 11-3, as we head into the final round of the first half.
There's a good kill by Roka. That's the one that drops the bomb that forces them to run back for it. But this play by Rue to get up close forces Roka to fight, and then he just runs out of bullets the last second. Whitmer can't hit the no-scope. So 2 ops now for compLexity in this round. 2 pistols as well on Def and Sanks. Shinobi has that M4. But it's a full buy for KKona. Molotov out from Ocean to stop them from pushing forward down these stairs. And it's good that he does that because there's 2 members here. Shinobi with 1 rifle is going to get aggressive. Whitmer gets a kill onto Invert, but Rue trades out Roka, so it is equalized. And now Shinobi, this is a hugely timed flank. This is very well done. He's going to have so much information. If they're not careful, he could ruin everything.
Smoke's going to roll back out there now as Ocean tried to get aggressive, waiting for Def to call the signal, but our apologies, not Def, waiting for Rue to call the signal, or Els to call the signal out there as they try to push it back in. But Shinobi's going to be able to pick up another kill for compLexity here as he shuts down Els. Take a look at Rue, though, in a perfect position, just sneaking right past. However, he gives Whitmer too much time, and he's able to go right in front of Monster and find another shot into Vice. So it only ends up being a trade. Rue trying to play this out now, and he's shut down by Def. So it leaves it all into Ocean in a 1v3 to close this out.
That has to be a kill. Just take the kill. It looked like he wanted to knife him, but Whitmer swings out wide and grabs his teammate. So maybe trying to get a little bit too flashy with that knife kill ends up hurting his team in the long run. So Ocean now got to find something. He misses that shot. Sanks is going to clean him out. If he just takes the shot immediately, he gets that kill. He's got his team at a 3-on-3 spot. So it's just a little bit of a bummer that we see this happen. There's no reason not to just take this kill right here. I know he's trying to get more, but Vice is the one who pays for it. So Whitmer, a good kill there.
So that's going to end half, though. Still very much in the favor of KKona, though, coming off of their T side. But this is literally the same exact story and the same exact scoreline that we saw back on Mirage, just with the teams being reversed this time. So there is no reason to believe that if compLexity get themselves off to a hot start by picking up the pistol round, that this exact story could not happen once again. As now compLexity jumps onto the T side, this is where Roka should hopefully shine a little bit more prominently. A lot of the other players, too, might come out to play. And with Whitmer already having a hot start back on the T side, if he continues that, or apologies, with him having a hot start on the CT side, if he continues that onto the T side, then that is going to be a very, very powerful compLexity to possibly swing things back and once again make this another close matchup as we head to the end of it.
Yeah, this is, so it's all going to start now on this pistol round. compLexity, they've got to do something. They did come out flat in that half, and much like Mirage, KKona did control the economy for most of that half. They had him on a lot of beat-up buys. At least this time there wasn't as many saves, but just compLexity couldn't afford all the utility they needed, all the weaponry. Early start here, Ocean pushes up towards Fountain, at least gets the intel, takes a shot or two, and just falls away. Doesn't want to commit to that, but he does spot out the bomb. That calls back a couple players to this A site, but still a pretty passive setup for KKona overall.
Just holding back now, hoping the CTs would try to get aggressive, but the CT is actually playing this extremely passively. As Vice as well hides out, and he can hear the pressure starting to work its way in from water, but now more of it's going to start to roll up towards Monster. They need to call in the reinforcement to the CT side. Shinobi finds the first pickup. Vice, long range, catching a second one here, looking for one for him. He takes down Roka. Sanks does respond for the side of compLexity, as does Whitmer. Ruru, though, is still alive and well, sitting over here, and he hasn't even given himself away as of yet. Takes down the plant through the bomb, did end up going down, but now he's going to try to wrap back out and finish off Sanks. Doesn't work out, but they've got him cornered, and Ruru, nicely done, posting up there, watching out for his teammate. They box Whitmer completely outside of this. No kit in the hands of either the remaining CT, but all they need to do is win this 1v1 together, but it's not going to be the case. Whitmer takes that first one, and Ruru, now the last one alive, brings Whitmer down to 4 HP, trying to chase him down here, and he's just trying to waste as much time as possible. Keep in mind, he does not have a kit in hand, but I think he should have just enough time to defuse his bomb. It's going to be a little bit close, but I believe Ruru has clutched it out for KKona.
Yeah, he's got enough time, and it's really Vice there. Those 3 kills, huge kills coming out on the entry especially, gets that double, and then one more later on in the round. So 6 stuff. Ruru is just biding his time. No one clears this, so 2 big kills from Vice, and Ruru's able to be patient. Although it looks like here, once again, this is the same as the previous round that I was just a little bit flabbergasted
I actually didn't realize that he had gotten a kill first there, too, and they still didn't realize that he was playing from that position. So the fact that they allow him to sit there and no one even realized he was playing behind Toxic Barrels, that's impressive. So, and a big mess up from compLexity side, of course. So that could be the tolling of the bells now if they don't correct this in the second round, because they have gone for the raid boss buy for compLexity here, putting the AK and armor in the hands of Roka.
Yeah, Roka's got to do something huge with it, hopefully, for his team's sake. 2 in underpass, 3 over towards the B bomb site, including the bomb. Roka's there with that AK-47, but he's not leading the way. He's being a little bit passive, looking for some kind of aggression. Ruru once again towards this B site. Ocean's there as well. And here comes an execute, and it looks like this is more set up. I'm gonna wait for that smoke to clear out, but it does look like this is going to be set up for Roka to come in like 3rd or 4th and be the one to use that AK-47 when there's no attention on him and just be able to pick off some of the defenders. Molotovs are going to stream out. That's going to force him out of position. Ocean's got to get into water where he runs into more fire. It's a very nice execution from KKona. Ocean completely blind, gets a dink, can't get the kill. There's the M4 chiming in. That's traded off as well, and there finally the AK comes in right at the last second and find Els. So this execute on the B bomb site in the second round of this half has worked perfectly for compLexity. Now they've just got to hold it off. They have a 4-on-2. Should be impossible for KKona to recover in this. They have no nades to work with. And there it is, Def and Roka just grabbing the last 2 kills. 5-12 for compLexity.
Plan works out exactly as you described it to there, too. They had no clue there was going to be an AK in play there, and when there's no attention drawn on Roka, he's able to just roll in and execute things quite nicely. So compLexity keep themselves in the match. They upset the economy for the CT side. Again, literally the same exact story that we saw back on Mirage, just with the teams being reversed this time around. Now KKona have to save up for a couple of rounds here, as unfortunately they're not going to be able to respond to that immediately, and it would not be advisable considering that, once again, they also have the big round cushion that compLexity was also working with coming off of their T-half back over on Mirage.
All pistols for KKona now. Invert's going to be in stairwell. He picks up at that last second. Does a little bit of damage, but Def finds Rue. Oh, and Invert finds it on a Shinobi. All right, then. Def's got to be careful because he's now all alone with an M4. If he falls here, that could be a weapon salvage that could be used to win this. Els looks away at the wrong time, though. It's a good kill from Whitmer. Def still not working his way up, so it is going to be on Els to find a kill, and he can't do it. So 2 on 4, this should be pretty solid from compLexity for here on out.
And Sanks has already spotted Ocean, so we're going to be able to roll in there pretty quickly and overwhelm him. And also, Whitmer working his way back up towards long A. Invert, nothing he's going to be able to do from there. So compLexity find an easy 6th round. And for KKona here, not really at the point as of yet where they could justify a force up, so probably just going to be in double save territory.
They still have a big lead. No reason to break up that economy. If they buy and lose here, that's all sorts of awkward buying later on in the half as the score kind of gets closer and closer for compLexity. So they have a chance. Save up one more time. Get that AWP out if they'd like to have it. Get them M4s, the Molotovs, all the fun stuff. compLexity looks like this wants to be a fast-paced round out of them. It looks like it's just going to be a B rush. Roka leading the way through Monster. Molotov at Toxic to clear this out. Smoke up towards Graffiti. Though I think that might have missed a little bit.
KKona took the risk on going for a 4-man stack near bathrooms in short A as well, so they're not really going to be able to do too much about just really impacting at all in this round. Trying to wrap back down now, but all they can do is post up really outside of the site or hope to get lucky on a bit of a rushed entry.
Yeah, what they could do is just set up for exits and just try and take some of these guns out, maybe salvage an AK-47 for the next round. Don't have to be too aggressive, but these fights they're taking at range, you're not going to win those. So this is just going to help compLexity get out of here a little bit easier.
Already seeing a couple of those guys go down, and they're doing exactly as you've described. So compLexity realizes this is the case. Probably just going to try to move out together here as one big group to avoid any of that. And Sanks sneaking his own way out through water right now, but the rest of the team on the CT side sort of posting themselves up here. And Sanks manages to get himself outside, takes down Vice, but also remains too close to the explosion after the trade damage comes out. So he will end up going down, and they do quite a bit of damage there too. And Invert is going to be able to pick up a FAMAS.
I think only 2 survived. I think the bomb actually killed 2 of their players. So Invert does pick up a FAMAS. I doubt he keeps that into the round though. Ocean might. But you know, Liz is a little bit of a weaker gun. So passes that over. He wants the op anyways. Ocean is going to play the econ game. So he keeps the FAMAS and he has 2,700 behind this buy. But this is a big one for KKona. If they lose this, compLexity is going to continue to inch their way closer and close this score gap. That op on Invert is out towards long A. Hasn't seen any presence there quite yet. It is 2 in underpass, 2 towards the B bomb site as well as the bomb, and only 1 player, that's going to be Whitmer. He's just watching for any kind of fountain or playground or party push from KKona. Nothing's going to be coming from him though, so 3 players now defending this B bomb site.
Def working his way back outside now to get control of the water area and then push themselves over to the B bomb site. compLexity is ready to roll, but KKona as well. They have a lot of presence here on that B site. 3 players stacked on it now. Also, L's a little bit pushed out from the A-bomb site. As soon as they hear noise, he's going to be able to rotate down extremely fast. And Invert, with him being pushed out towards long A, he's a short rotate away towards the connector. And there we go. They poke themselves out. Ocean going to pick up the first kill for the CT side by shutting down Whitmer. The bomb has also gone down too, and there's no follow-up on it from compLexity at all. They're still stuck outside of the site. The jump through comes in. Roka finds 1 pickup, but Ruru and Vice responding right after that one. Sanks and Def, though, also picking up 2 more. But unfortunately for Sanks, he's now the last man left alive. And they've spotted him. Ruru going to be able to shut it down. And KKona will be picking up this first gun round.
Yeah, really nice job by Ocean. I think that first player from compLexity might have been just a little bit too far ahead of his teammates jumping through that smoke. It's also the bomb carrier, unfortunately, but it seems like Whitmer, there's no one here to follow this up. So either Roka just kind of stayed behind and didn't want to move forward. He does eventually get the trade, but it's just so far ahead that Ocean's able to recover. 13-7, and now you can see the money's a little bit beat up on the compLexity side. Whitmer and Def don't have nades. There are full nades on the other 3, but if they lose this round, you can just tell the money's a little bit low for them, so it might force a save. And if KKona gets up towards 14 going against pistols, it's a long way for compLexity to go after that.
KKona also get a good read on the early situation here. Molly rolls out towards Monster. It looked like compLexity wanted to just rush right into the site, but that's going to hold it back for a couple of extra moments here. Ocean, though, waiting for it. Look at the complete wrong direction. Even though the compLexity players are completely flashed, Vice responds with Sanks. Finding another pickup here. They get themselves up to B, and there's still that rotation that needs to come in. Roka tapping away as well, and the Ruru back up towards Heaven. He does get dinked down to 8 HP, but shutting it down. These final 2 cannot really do anything about this, but Els doesn't care. He's already back in the site, hiding outside of the CT cubby right now. He may want to try to find a way out of here. He's picked up a kill on a death, but there's still so much work to do.
Yeah, they might choose not to even go for it. Yeah, and a 2-on-3, Invert's just going to fall away, maybe try and get 1 pick towards the end. He's got just a really high percentage angle, very difficult to get killed in this spot. But now he just falls away. So compLexity do get their 8th, and this is nothing fancy. This is just saying we're going to come through this smoking monster, and you're either going to kill all of us, or we're going to get the trade and open up the bomb site. Early on in that round, KKona puts 3 players out towards A, so the defense gets overrun very, very quickly when Ocean's not able to get that opening kill. So 8-13 now. And with the money that KKona had, they had some players Yeah, they can drop 2 guns over, so this might actually be a buy. I would be surprised if it wasn't. Yeah, because they had I think it was like 3 or 4 players survive that round they won, so they have some money built up that they can survive that kind of a loss, but now they're very, very low. And on the flip side, compLexity, who was low at the time, they now build up some money behind this, so good spot to be in. One more buy round to see who's going to have to see if KKona is going to have to save or if they can start inching closer to that map point.
compLexity here, splitting themselves out now. It's going to be Def and Shinobi, the main driving force, with the bomb inside of the connector. Lower tunnels right now, and Sanks and Roka as well, investigating some options towards B, but the smokes roll off from the CTs, just trying to hold things off initially. However, Els has gotten very aggressive. He might find himself in a bit of an early battle here with Whitmer, but Whitmer, I think, is privy to this one. However, Els, with a nice recovery, shuts down Whitmer and gives KKona the early man advantage here. Not only this, too, but Invert has found another shot onto Def, and that's going to be the bomb that goes down. Thankfully, Shinobi's able to retrieve it and get outside of the lower tunnels, but and he had been better off with his shots. Might have been able to drop that, too, and that would have completely killed the round for compLexity.
Yeah, meanwhile, Roka's going to try and sneak into B. It's going to work. I don't think Vice has spotted him. He's crouching all the way to the other side. Ocean's going to have a surprise here pretty soon, or at least Roka finds that first kill. Sanks does follow. Ocean finds him. Now he knows Roka's here, but pre-firing that swing, Roka finds a second kill. The bomb is still far away. Shinobi has it. Trying to come up late, throwing out a smoke to help Roka out, to help protect against this invert. Meanwhile, is flanking downstairs, though. Roka's smoke is going to block him off. Molotov as well comes out, so at least this bomb is going to get planted. Some spam through the smoke deals a little bit of damage, but Shinobi's going to be able to get it down. Invert's just going to walk right through, though, and they're not ready for it. He stops the bomb plant. Roka returns fire, gets that kill, but Rue cleans it up. 14-8, KKona holds on.
KKona now as well. We're going to re-solidify that lead, and for compLexity, still having enough money to force up here on quite a few of their players. Some a little bit below the bar, but thankfully, with about $8,000 on Roka and $6,900 on Whitmer, they can drop an extra AKs and a Galil in the case of Def over. Whitmer also just going to buy all the way up with the op. So they're going to fully buy out here, and if they can't close it here, well, then they're just going to give the map over to KKona and put the first win of this entire Pro League season onto the board for these guys.
Look at this. Roka's just looking for some kind of aggression. He's been pretty frequently over towards this monster, because that's where you can isolate some fights in the mid round. It's also a very big entry point that some of the fights that he likes to take. Battle with him and Ocean has been going on throughout this half. Meanwhile, KKona's defense, they have a couple players pushing up that highway over towards the top of the stairwell, towards Party. It's going to be Invert just peeking the angle, seeing what he finds, what kind of intel. He's wide out in the open, though. This could be very, very dangerous if compLexity goes for a play here, because he's the only one. Although he finds that kill onto Whitmer very quickly. Not prepared for the drop down, and Sanks cleans him out after that. Continues to move forward, and then he definitely gets caught out. So now complete control of stairwell for compLexity, as well as they start to grab control of bathrooms by Sanks' mobility.
And they do have that bit of a stack up here on the B-bomb site too. Not really putting a whole lot of proactive pressure here on the site in the event compLexity do decide to go for a take, but KKona actually have a pretty good read on the situation when you consider that most of compLexity's players are still very far back and very far away from going for an actual hit onto this B-bomb site. And when they do, Vice will be ready with that boost up there and should have a pretty easy catch on any players trying to enter through construction, which at this point would mainly be Shinobi. More pressure also going to be applied to Els here too in the event they press forward on short A. So he'll be the main player to watch this inside of bathrooms, and he gets his first battle. Fails to hold it though. Sanks shuts him down, and now compLexity take control of the man advantage.
Well, they've also taken control of the B bomb site. It's going to be Roka over there who's the one pressuring it, and actually, oh, Vice recovers nicely, finds that kill. So now the A hit is on, but KKona, it's just Rue up here. He gets 2 kills, excuse me. That's a big hold. The bomb is down, 5 seconds left. Shinobi's got to stick this, so Vice is just going to run right in. He's going to have a great angle, jumping around the corner. He gets that kill. It's going to be 15. The plant's going to help out, but compLexity is going to be so low on money for this last round.
Not really going to be able to invest all that much at all. Keep in mind just how much was expended here. Most of these players, in fact, every single member of this team is now sitting below $1,000. And also with them just restarting on the losing bonus here now, compLexity's really not going to be building up all that much, and for most of these guys, they're going to be looking at Galils or Tech 9s. Only one, Shinobi, looks like he's going to be able to upgrade to an actual AK here, and he will have 0 utility behind that buy.
Yeah, that is not good, especially Roka, your marksman on the Galil. At this point, you almost feel like you'd want to trade that AK over to him and just say, all right, Roka, you take this one. You see what you can do with it. 3 Tech 9s otherwise on Sanks, Whitmer, and Def. They do have a lot of utility, and this is it. It's the B-Rush call. Nothing left in the tank. Vice, though, he gets caught without his gun out, but they sustain. They get the first 3 kills. There's the 4th. They're just going to shut this down quickly. KKona gets their first win of the season. It's been 7 weeks, but they eventually do find it.
And it's going to come against compLexity, who unfortunately have their own struggles continuing now. They will be able to rack up one more win for tonight, which I believe puts them at about 4, but with the over-amounting amount of losses that is still working against them, it's not going to help them to move out of relegation range anytime soon.
Well, you know, the first one's the hardest. Maybe they just go on a huge run here. Think so?
Yeah. Maybe.
Listen, it was a good win. It started off with that T side. They controlled the economy very well. That was good to see. You know, Vice, like you said, that's a player that they picked up when TSM decided to not to continue his trial period. So he had a good match. But Ocean also did some damage, especially in this round, just leading the entries into this bomb site for him. But KKona just went on too big of a lead, and compLexity never seemed able to really recover from that.
And we saw it again, the usual suspects for compLexity. Roka, unfortunately, the biggest issue for him and one of the biggest problems for compLexity was that on this CT side, we just saw literally nothing from Roka in both maps here, and it was even more so. I think it was at one point when they took the pause, it was pretty close to the end of the half, where he only had like 2 or 3 frags, something like that. Roka, very little impact at all. At the end of this match, I think I had something around 14, but still, that's very, very little for Roka when he usually leads the scoreline for his entire team.
Yeah, got to find some way to be effective on the CT side. We know he likes to be aggressive. He's an aggressive player that likes to pick and choose his battles, but just not bringing it on the defensive side. This one almost tilted me. Not gonna lie to you. this one right here, where he lets his teammate die. That almost just full-blown put me on tilt.
I guess you could see what he was trying to do.
Yeah, he's trying to find that second player, so when he got that first kill, it just, you know, for whatever reason, either wasn't communicated, and Vice just kind of walked into the crosshair. So it was actually a little bit more understandable than I initially thought when I saw it for the first time, but still, if I was Vice, I would be raging.
But Vice did have a good night, too, for his first time on this new team, so hope they'll be sticking around for a little bit longer. The last couple of weeks these guys have now in the Pro League. They can't get themselves out of that last place spot. They will be immediately knocked down, but there is maybe some hope after winning that first match.
Yeah, and speaking of them being in that last place spot, we're going to put the standings up on the board, so you can see how these matches tonight really affected what was how everything's looking coming down to the end of the season. We'll have that up in a moment. But yeah, it's just the fact that all I can really hope for at this point is to fight for the end of the season and not get auto-relegated. I don't think they're too far behind. We'll see in a second when those are brought up. I think they're only a couple wins behind the next last place team, which actually, you just brought it up on the screen. You guys will see it in a second. Somehow, they haven't played too many matches, but somehow it's Counter Logic Gaming who's in the second to last spot at the moment, which is just insane to think about. I'm sporting the T-shirt today as well. I don't know why. I might just have to take this off forever. But you can see it down there. CLG is only two games ahead of them. Now they've only played 12 matches. AGG's played 14. Or that's KKona, excuse me. Team AGG is actually the old organization that they were playing under. They've switched to KKonas, but that is not a good look. compLexity's up there in 10th with 4, and so is Splice. So it's actually 2 of the teams that we sent to the major in the bottom 4 of Pro League this season, which that's not good.
Not good at all. So Splice obviously is safe for now, but especially considering that KKona has a little bit less matches played, there is a small chance that if they go on this big run, especially now they have Vice on the roster, and if he continues to play well, maybe there'll be a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel for these guys. They can bounce out of it. compLexity, though, in a very, very rough position, though. They played 20 out of, I think, 21 or 22 of their total matches that are played here in Pro League, so they've only got 1 or 2 more left to play here before they're done for the season, and leaving it with only 4, somewhere between 4 and 6 wins is not going to be optimal at all. So these guys need to be very, very careful, as compLexity is probably the riskiest team right now to possibly be all relegated.
Yeah, that's not good. Splice not too much better, but they have a few less games played. This is the schedule for tomorrow, and this is pretty awesome. There's going to be essentially 14 Liquid matches, as you can see. Liquid versus Cloud9 are going to open things up, so that'll be really fun to watch those 2 teams play. Liquid obviously having an awesome time at the MLG Columbus. Cloud9 not making out of the groups again. And then the second 2 matches, Liquid versus Optic, who are up towards the top of the standings, have been throughout the season, but with the benefit of the 2 Luminosity forfeits tonight, they get a couple more wins added to their column. So that'll be for the evening tomorrow. And remember, if you if you forget tomorrow morning what the matches are and you want to check it out, you can use the Score Esports app. You can check that out. Scores, statistics, articles, all that fun stuff. You can get that at the Google Play Store. Yeah, I know, I'm getting better. That's why I'm just pumping it out, just so I can continue to practice. Google Play Store or the App Store. But that is going to be it for tonight. Another short evening of only 2 matches. But we will see you tomorrow night at the same time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. That will be for those 4 matches of Team Liquid versus, who was it, Cloud9, and the second one was Optic Gaming. So those will be 4 huge matches with big implications for Liquid if they can make a run at the end of the season. So make sure you're tuning in for that tomorrow night. Thanks for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you then.